So I guess this will be a raw video. I just want to share or elaborate my thoughts on a major realization I just had. I would even say God has shown me, or at least the information comes through, and I hope it helps in some way because some of these things are really mind-boggling. So it majorly goes around goes around like that, and this already someone back in middle school when we were talking about our philosophies about life and discussing it in a cool manner and chill manner. One buddy of mine said that a buddy of his and someone I knew said how he was baffled that that other dude I also know said, or explained to him that everything in life goes in circles. Now, I already was awake at that point. I mean, we all kind of were as we were when we were young, anyways. But this was already in my teens, but I already have woken up at that point, like for real. In its truest essence, like for real, not only for real, like for real. So I was getting it, but then I also was thinking, yeah, there's much more to it. But now I was realizing how deep this goes, because how deep as well they trying to, the one energizing on where the current vortex is with all its dark spots, blind spots, and thinking they can overcome it by becoming a leech to it and opposing it. Because this has many reasons now. I already thought through this in my mind, so I always like to be original. So for me, it's already kind of weird talking about it again because I already talked about it in my mind. But nevertheless, let's get straight to the point. How they were putting, like, because your life from a high perspective is like a circle. Even if you think it's linear or in the past with the linear time and shit, but it's really not. Especially even in the 3D with all these outside attractor fields, like with religion, school, government, all this stuff. And we were revealing a lot of that already. Nevertheless, they put it literally everywhere, and that's why they needed you with all these attractor fields, because they were putting all these signs and symbols, and because symbolism goes straight to the subconscious, and that's the point. The subconscious is a thing where you're trying to figure things out, or where there's some information, but you still gotta enlighten it or make it conscious, right? Make it conscious. Go deeper into it, because you're only feeling it, the feminine, but the masculine, you have to think about it or make it conscious. Now, that's why they also want to trick and also the feminine had to heal a lot and literally heal the world from the perspective, but it goes diagonal. The more it goes hand in hand, the divine masculine, divine feminine. Nonetheless, literally everywhere they were putting these signs. Like, I was thinking back about in church, like, it's all subconsciously putting enough information into people's subconscious, where they connect to this thread of consciousness through these symbols, but they don't get it enough, so they can enlighten themselves or expose the stuff, even if you get it. But there's the subconscious thread, there's something. It's kind of weird, but because it's subconscious, you can't really grasp it. Now, the more or less you fine-tune it or are in tune with it, and woman most of the time, or the female more naturally, is connected to this, the better you may realize that. But then it's all about you making it conscious. Now, why I'm talking about it? Because in the end of the day, this whole world or journey, of course there are many levels to it, but in the end it's about your position and positionality and your divine place, and you figuring out how to place yourself or how to where's your place in this world. Now I'm not talking about food chain, because this is or rankings or hierarchies, like not like in the animal kingdom you got taught, not like here, like they want to teach you because they try to take it from the animal kingdom to the human kingdom so they can justify their position. Not even a dimensional way, because to a certain extent, to a certain degree of dimensions, there's more or less a room for this dark spot, because that's how these dimensions are, like where you can still try to oppose the vortex and play out through duality and being the opposer or the trickster of it, because it's not fully crested or one, the left and the right wings or hemispheres, so to speak. That's why the heart is as well super powerful, because it's the oneness and to connect it to the true heart and the core of creation, where it's beyond this duality, also the feminine, the female, right? But also the male, the crown, as the pandar to it. So the crown, fully connected, fully healed, super powerful, as well as the heart, super powerful. The heart heals, the feminine heals. Of course, we also got the core as a masculine. There's a masculine and feminine to everything. Nonetheless, with going this in circles, if you put it everywhere, with my first examples, in millions of people's lives, or let it circle around that, then who gets the most energy or consciousness out of it? You know, the ones building these circles, and where the attention and the energy focus goes. Now that's kind of weird if you're in a world or vortex of unconsciousness or such a dark spot, because then the one who tricked us like that get all the energy or focus our attention, and that's how this big enslavement happened, because most of the time this goes much higher than this 3D, or this actually goes much higher through this 3D realm, because some of these motherfuckers like don't really get it, or only to a certain extent. But from another level, they as well attracted this outside pushed out, the astral, which correlates to that. Now, this would be another video, and many are exposing this right now, but the astral also, like these other dimensions, is the imagination, but big part where you can go left and right, and it's more or less, there's a freedom, like endless imagination, but the whole thing about these dimensions is, and higher, only that it that the whale gets thinner, so it gives it less chance for that, because you get closer to the truth, the crown, to the one creator God. So the more you acknowledge it, so the less there's space for falsehood. While in the lower there's more space for that, to play that out. The higher you go, the more you want to serve for the highest good of all. You acknowledge that you want to get closer to the truth, your true nature, the creator, God's source, right? And the closer you get the truth, the more you gradually let go of that, like also in the riddle, but also cosmic journey. So there's less space for that, because you don't ought to be on that level anymore. Now there's many ways this can go like that, but this video is just simply for you to realize, because in such a dark spot we came here, obviously with such trickery. It goes against free will, certain things, because that's why I want to explain this with the left and right. With the left, and if you have to control others, then you're already running away from something, a core wound, or a disconnection from the creator source. You're trying to answer your own call or run away from yourself. You're trying to you might be very connected to like what many of these want to do. They try to own the divinity, but what we need to realize is, like, this is a vortex as well. So you gotta see it with the left and right, the masculine and feminine brain hemisphere, and what it does with logic and feeling and logic. You're trying to make sense out of the vortex. Now, this is either on a personal level, because you study yourself, you master yourself, which it originally ought to be. Same with the masculine Christ. You let the from one perspective, you are the light and we are the light, but you let the light and the truth shine through, and you master yourself and let only that push out. Like, you're protector of it. You're it truly the true Christ, as we see it from examples. At this, you literally have to surrender your whole west sense of self for the light of God, the true light, God's source, to shine through the truth for the highest good of all, and be that light. But like, it's literally it's, from one perspective you might say very selfless, but from another perspective you actually see that part which the ego wanted to realize or learn how to place itself, or that kind of notion. So that's the burn of the ego, or the antidote, but actually it's the truth. If you truly balance both and align, and you can see the truth shine through. So it's kind of hard to explain. Now, what I want to say is, this is a vortex. So some motherfuckers try to own their divinity through the outside, and then they haven't really realized that it's just a mirror world, and that they have to do it within, and that this only creates more suffering and more of that frequency of all involved. Some just think they overcome it, but they won't, and nonetheless. So, but the higher you go, the more you acknowledge that you want to come to your true nature and to the truth, and where you're connected more to all, because you want to serve all, and the creator, the true creator, and where also you're most connected to in your higher self, and you overcome that, you heal yourself, you heal these core wounds, right? And then life tends to get you more in that flow of ease, because you let go of all that agony, and where you're basically playing against yourself. Of course, it's an energy and it's an notion, and that's why I said with this vortex, because some we gotta be careful with these things, because there's some where some agendas, obviously, like I said, because of the first example, going in circles, they put certain things everywhere. This goes against the free will already, and this is only the peak of it, because there it just is into your subconscious, but they already built, like, even if it's a tiny thread, and the more you focus, the more attention it gets. Like, literally in the church, like, literally what are they representing every time one goes to church, the whole process. Think about it, literally. If you know what's up, you already know it. Now you can connect the dots. It's already drawing consciousness to that through the subconscious, because most of these people who go to church don't realize it. Why do they repeat the same ceremony all over again? What does it represent? It is kind of subtle, but it's actually not. It's blatantly in your face, but that's why they used it so much, because with this whole dogma, people thought, yeah, they have to believe in something, find strength, make something conscious, make the light out of something, right? Find strength within that. That's why you also, when you, best example, pray. Wait a minute. That's when you pray, for example, also directly to God's source, you try to find a strength, because that's why they said in the beginning in God there was only light. You try to understand everything, the whole awareness behind everything, the whole consciousness behind everything. aka you make it conscious, aka you find strength within it. That's why they build all these patterns in this world, or also the collective, to find strength, to make something conscious, right? So that part wasn't only them, this was just building around. It's what is very human to build around, right? Like look at the earth, to build around with the mass of the earth becoming earth, to build around something, right? To be stubborn. Now this goes much deeper than that, and so these energies try to use this against, through tricking, through going against, and thinking they can overcome it, but they little do they know it's just a mirror of their own vortex they should master. But they're obviously playing out the opposite, because they're running from themselves, because they think they already own divinity in some way. Although this is only half of the truth, or only a little bit, because you gotta own your own divinity and look at yourself and see yourself clearly and master yourself, not through the outside, because this would be reverse engineering, then that's what you get. But they think, or they act like they don't care, or they don't care because they think they care. Nonetheless, I don't want to get too much into it. So in the end, like I said, it's all about every motherfucker learning where's their position in this universe. And I'm again meaning this not in a hierarchy, in a sense of hierarchy, but more in a sense of you knowing what's your gift and what gift God gave you, and what gift you are to the world, and how you realize that, and how you position yourself with that. Because when you the more you closer you get to the truth and align yourself with the truth and your highest self, the more the better you feel automatically, because you feel perfectly seen. But you can also be this gift to the world. Like, it's a circle, because you're the gift, like the creation, like the feminine, but you're also the giver, and perfectly align it and see the beauty of both, and the entire creation and the creator. Again, both creation, creator, right? That's why also all the unconscious resentment of the creator, because of all the misguided or misguiding energies and patterns and thoughts, but then making something conscious, and that's already where you kind of see that split, or can read it in the energy, because this kind of split, as I see it, is where everything sprang forth. Now you can go deeper with what kind of energy spirits there is, but they, from one perspective, it's kind of collective. From another perspective, they just try to own a certain dark spot that came up in that universe, and try to fill it with, or make it their own, or this vortex with their agenda, so they can be the creator of something, or the god, or in charge of. But it's only trickery. It's quite loose. It's the loose end. It's the tail, because you're stating that you're not in control. Now you need to control others. So that's where the lashback is, and it can only go to a certain extent. And it's reverse engineering, like I said, and they only this also the whole astral sense, because if you try to use it for such selfish reasons, it totally makes no sense, because like it's already stating that you're in falsehood, because you're already participating again that kind of energy and frequency, instead of feeling it, being the true creator of yourself, your universe, your creation, because you are the creator and the creation, as well as you see right now. Like, we are spirit and flesh, right? In body, coming through the body, through the female, and through the understanding, awareness behind it, you can give it direction, like the quantum and the linear, perfectly aligned, in that if you would understand yourself, right? If you would understand yourself, and then you would understand your divine position, and actually would realize that God was always, and that's why they always say, calling you, or helping you with that, or trying to help you, trying to enlighten you in that, to realize that. And boy, oh boy, but it goes much deeper than that, because then the more the collective is in a certain vortex, the more attention it gets, and the more we have to break these walls of darkness, and because the more it got energized. And then how does it relate to the collective, and with these effects, and yeah, it's kind of deep also with these thoughts. Yeah, but that's in the end what you're trying to do. So this is the whole message, message of God for you, for your high self, that you are on that path. I hope this might help you in some shape or form, right? Help you in some shape or form. You understand? In some way. I've less. These were just my late night thoughts. I hope this might help you. Thank you. Peace. Bye. Great empowerment to you. Hope you're doing well. Look at yourself. Yeah, study these energies. That's why they also say find strength within God, because to make things clear, the understanding, make it conscious. But both the masculine and the feminine originally is very divine. So that's where I'm coming from right now, as I see it, and it's much more connected, and one than you think, but like in truth, in spirit, not like where you try to force anything out or to mix and mingle, because this would already play out it, because that's force, that's pushing, that's feeling separate, right? But that's why they say the true unity comes from within. You just gotta study yourself, calling of God, as many said. I know there are many ways where you have, cut through the BS, and look where you're going. So I hope this might help you. Sometimes quite weird to explain. So peace and bye, guys.